Sheffield United remain your leaders over in the Championship with a 3-point cushion over their nearest and dearest Leeds, that's right. But what about the race for the playoffs? Who's in? Who's out? We'll take a closer look at that and more next. That's right, folks, back once again with another prediction video today. It's all about match number 22, that's right, in the Championship. And we'll get to it in a second. Of course, if you're new, where you been? Smash your subscribe button, one-stop shop for EFL content, Blackburn Rovers, world football. We're going to all hear under one rooski. That's right, it is the calm before the storm, folks, as we have a slow build-up to this week in the second tier right here, right now. But after that, it's madness. The mad festive period begins with Boxing Day and a couple of games before the new year. We'll take a look at all that and more in a second. Big shout out to the members, you know who you are, and a big shout out to the Patreons, you know who you are. And of course, I appreciate the loving on the channel. Right here, right now, it is Burnley, Sunderland, Blackburn Rovers and Middlesbrough in those playoff spots, but it could all change dramatically this weekend. What am I talking about? We'll look at that in a minute. Of course, sit tight, hold on. We're going to recap the last round of games first before we jump into the next round of games. Alrighty then, folks, take a look back then, shall we, at those last round of games, and these are those. Look at that statement win for Derby, 4-0 winners on the night over Portsmouth at Pride Park. Didn't see that one coming, as Portsmouth were on a good uptick of form. That might have dented their confidence somewhat heading into this week's games. Meanwhile, Bristol City and QPR was a 1-1 draw. Coventry under Frank Lampard with a big 2-1 win over Ruben Selles, Hull City. Meanwhile, Preston North End did get a point against Leeds United. I think they have something on Leeds mentally. I think they just got they're a bit of a hoodoo side there. Meanwhile, Rovers with a big win against Luton Town to, of course, continue their recent good bit of form. The Borough 1-0 winners over Millwall, who are now managerless. Of course, a lot of talk about Schumacher, Ryan Lowe, all sorts on Bloomfield from Wickham. Who knows? But I thought they would have got their act together by now. Meanwhile, Oxford did lose to Sheffield Wednesday convincingly, and guess that, yes, breaking news, Buckingham is no more. So currently Millwall and Oxford are managerless at the moment. Over in the Championship, Sheffield Wednesday with a big 3-1 win against Sheffield Wednesday's Danny Rowe linked with Southampton. It's the mad period right now. Meanwhile, Sheffield United with a 2-0 win over Plymouth, who could be next. Of course, Stoke City with a 2-2 draw against Cardiff, predicted it. What a game that was over in Wales. 3-2 win for Sunderland. They turned it right around. Watford with a 2-1 win over the Baggies, and Norwich did beat Burnley 2-1. Burnley did beat Norwich 2-1 in the end over at Carrow Road. This is the table as I see it right here, right now. It's Sheffield United with 45 points on the doors. Leeds United on 42. Then it's Burnley, Sunderland, Rovers, and then Middlesbrough. Watford could break into that top 6 with a win this time around, with the Baggies also dropping down there with just one win in the last 6. Going down right now, it's Hull, Plymouth, Portsmouth going down with Cardiff, Oxford, Luton, and QPR. Even Stoke not completely out of the conversation just yet. So that's the situation there. Over in the Super Brew, take a little look at it. Big week for Jake Hammond there with 19.5 points, summer 2018, picking up 18.5. Daddy Cool and Vindaloo Victory also scooping a joined silver medal. And if you want to take a look at it weirdly, Stevel and Zanders in bronze. Not good week for me. Pretty grim stuff. In fact, when I look back at my picks, probably wooden spoon material. I don't even want to go there. Where the heck am I? There I am. I've just got 5.5. Not wooden spoon. Well, probably wooden spoon if they want to give it to me. Not great this past weekend. But anyway, the leaderboard looks a little bit like this. It's KP21 with 222 points. Big lead over Alex Weller. Big move of those summer 2018, up 4 spots to number 3. I'm all the way down into 18th right now. Rover C's massive. Down 7 spots. Wow. Daddy Cool up 12 spots to 17. So, bit of a scrappy stuff here. If you see your name in there, please smash that like, smash your subscribe, of course. This is it. This is this period now where we're going to get some points on the board and start to push up the table. This is the link. If you want to get involved, use it for the Super Brew right here, right now. It is 100% free. You can start now and have a old blitzer over the Christmas period and show everybody what you're talking about. Anyway, that's, of course, free. These are the next round of games, guys. Wow, all the way from Monday through Sunday. The calm before the storm, of course, Boxing Day is not that far away, so sit tight. Hold on, here we go. Let's take a little look then at Luton Town up against Derby County at Kenilworth Road. Of course, Luton under Rob Edwards, 42% form for for them right now. I watched them just last week. Not the greatest performance from Luton. A bit of internal goings on as well with Carlton Morris, Louis Walsh. A bit of an exchange on the pitch. Rob Edwards not kind words after it. So I think he's on borrowed time here as well, Rob Edwards. They need a result and fast. They are 19th for the table, 22 points for the campaign. Just one win though in the last 5 up against Derby under Paul Warne. One win in the last 6. They're 14th with 24 points. Of course, played each other 16 times since 1993. 5 wins Luton, 6 wins Derby. 5 draws between the two sides. The last time played at this venue though, it was a 1-0 win for Luton back in February 2022. Luton have actually won 3 on the bounce against Derby at this very venue. Luton on the back of that 2-0 loss to Rovers. Derby with a big 4-0 win over Portsmouth to make it back-to-back clean sheets for Derby heading into this one. The odds here, 23-20 is your Luton, 23-10 is the draw, 5-2 is your Derby. It should be a Hatters victory here. No disrespect for Derby. They might make it difficult, might be a 1 or a 2-0. Going with a 2-0 there. If they're playing for the coach, this is the match to do it under the cameras and under the lights. Meanwhile, we go to Saturday's early kickoffs. The 21st is Hull City up against Swansea City over at the MKM Stadium. Ruben Selles, Hull City, 24 for the table, 16 points for the campaign. They are winless in the last 13 matches. The Tigers, Swansea, under Luke Williams, they're on 10th for the table, 27 points for the campaign, just 1 defeat in the last 5. Now, they played each other 24 times since 2003. 10 wins Hull, 7 wins Swansea. 7 draws between the two sides. The last time they played at this venue, 1-0 win it was for Swansea back in February 2024. The Swans are unbeaten against Hull over the last 4, couple of wins and a couple of draws. And they only lost once against them in the last 6, but that was at this very venue. Hull on the back of that 2-1 loss to Coventry. Swansea with that 3-2 loss to Sunderland. The odds for this one, 6-4 is your Hull, 7-4 is your Swansea, 23-10 is the draw. Swansea have been playing good. They have. And frustrating to lose that game against Sunderland. Hull have yet to really get going, but the performances are changing for Hull City, and I think they might get something here. Yeah, I'm going to go with the 2-1 win. Hull City. Ruben Selles' first victory in front of the faithful at a much-needed time as well. Meanwhile, Portsmouth up against Coventry. Now, if Coventry had got something out of the game against Derby, I would have backed them here to get something out of this game. And I don't think I'm doing that at the moment. We'll see. Anyway, at Fratton Park, it's John Mousinho's Portsmouth. They are 22nd at the table, 17 points for the campaign, just 1 defeat in the last 4. Up against Frank Lampard's Coventry, 50% form for them right now, 1-2 lost to and drawn 2 coming into this, but just 1 defeat in the last 4. They are 15th at the table, 24 points for the campaign, and they played each other 18 times since 2001. 7 wins apiece, 4 draws between the two sides. The last time they played competitively at this venue was a 3-3 draw over at Fratton Park. In fact, the last 2 times at Fratton Park, Portsmouth have not lost against Coventry, but Pompey on the back of that too, a 4-0 drubbing by Derby to make it back-to-back games without a goal. Coventry on the back of that 2-1 important win over Hull to get things moving under Frank Lampard. 3-1 is your Portsmouth, 11-10 on is Coventry, 5-2 is your draw. It's a difficult place to go. Always a difficult place to go, no matter how good or what kind of form you're on. And again, all eyes on this one. Early kickoff. It's a tricky one. I'm going Portsmouth. I am. I think they, in front of their faithful, they'll find something. All eyes on this one. Watch Colby Bishop. Keep an eye on the guy. I'm going to cause a bit of an upset here. 2-1 win Pompey to take it to the house. Meanwhile, Sheffield Wednesday against Stoke. That's right. Could it be the last game for Danny Roll before he makes the switch to the Premier League? Of course, with Southampton on the lookout. Wednesday under Danny Roll, 67% form for them. Just 1 defeat in the last 6. They are 9th, 29 points for the campaign. Up against Stoke under Nasius Pelach. How long do you give in before you start pulling the plug again? Sitting 17th for the table, 22 points for the campaign. 25% form for Stoke right now. Now, they played each other 18 times, these two clubs, since 2002. 4 wins Wednesday, 5 wins Stoke. 9 draws between the two sides. The last time they played at this venue, it was a 1-1 draw back in April 2024. But Sheffield Wednesday did not lose against Stoke last season. They beat them at the Bet365. Wednesday on the back of that 3-1 win over Oxford. Stoke with that 2-2 draw against Cardiff. Their last couple of games on the road have ended up in defeats, losing to Luton and Sunderland. The odds for this one, 10-9 on is your Wednesday, 3-1 is your Stoke, 5-2 is your draw. If Danny Roll's here, which I think he still will be. Of course, he did sign a new contract in the summer. Wednesday will win this one. Going to go with a 1-0 win. Not big, not impressive, but enough. 3 points. And of course, that keeps them moving upwards and happily into the Christmas Day period and beyond. Meanwhile, Burnley up against Watford. What a game we have at Turdmore. That's right, Scott Parker's Burnley, third in the table, 41 points for the campaign. They're unbeaten in at least the last 6 matches. Up against Watford, 75% form for them right now, 7th in the table, 34 points for the campaign, unbeaten also in the last 6. They're played each other 39 times since 1994. 17 wins Burnley, 11 wins Watford, 11 draws between the two sides, including a draw last time around at Turdmore. 1-1 it was back in February 2023. In fact, the last 2 matches at Turdmore have ended up all square, but Watford have only lost once against Burnley in the last 4. If you flip it around the other way, Watford have actually only won once in the last 6 against Burnley. But the last couple of games at Turdmore have ended up all square. That's, of course, take from that from what they were. Burnley, the Freaks, on the back of a 2-1 win over Norwich. Watford also on the back of a 2-1 win over West Bromwich Albion. A spicy game this one. 20-13 on is your Burnley, 29-10 is the draw, 4-1 is your Watford. Looking at that, I'm possibly going with a draw here, but I think Burnley might have the edge. They've got a bit of momentum going. Again, not playing their best football at the moment, but I just think they're going to have too much in the tank and they'll take out Watford. And again, get closer to those top 2 spots. They'll be keeping an eye on Leeds and they'll keep an eye on Sheffield United. Speaking of Sheffield United, they're next up against Cardiff. Of course, have made Omar Ritza their permanent manager, and that could be a very, very dodgy move in the end. Of course, Cardiff hosting Sheffield United at the Cardiff City Stadium, played each other 21 times since 2003. 6 wins Cardiff, 9 wins Sheffield United. There's been 6 draws between the two sides. The Welshies are winless in the last 7 matches, 21st in the table, 18 points for the campaign. Up against Sheffield United under Chris Wilder, who of course unbeaten in at least the last 6. They're top of the table, 45 points for the campaign. They've won 4 of the last 5. And in fact, their recent record against Cardiff is also pretty stellar. They've won 4 on the bounce, including back-to-back wins over Cardiff at this very venue. Cardiff on the back of that 2-2 draw against Stoke. Sheffield United, back-to-back clean sheets for them, picking up wins over Millwall and Plymouth successfully, or in quick succession there. The odds here, Cardiff 13-5 for the victory, 21-20. Sheffield United 12-5 is the draw. I honestly think this is going to be a walk in the park this season. I think Sheffield United are just too good at the moment. I'm going to go with a 2-0 win. Sheffield United, and that's another 3 points in the back. I think they're going to be a bit boring, Sheffield United. I think they're going to be cruising the title here. I don't think there's much teams in this league that are going to get better than Sheffield United. I think the race for second and the playoffs is where it's all at this season. I think Sheffield United are on cruise control. And don't forget, they did take a 2-point deduction at the start of the season. Meanwhile, the biggest rivals at the moment is Leeds. They're going to be up against Oxford United, who are managerless. Craig Short, the legend, coming in to do the numbers there at Oxford in the time while they're looking for a new coach. Leeds under Daniel Farker, they're second in the table, 42 points for the campaign, just 2 wins the last 4 for Leeds. Up against Oxford under Craig Short, winless in the last 6 matches. They're 20th in the table, 18 points for the campaign. They've made the call now to save them from getting into those actual drop zones. Played each other 3 times since 2012. 2 wins Leeds, one for Oxford. 2 of those games were friendlies. Last time they played competitively was a 3-0 win for Leeds at Ellen Road back in August 2012. That was in the EFL Cup. Leeds on the back of that 1-1 draw against Preston, but it's been back-to-back wins. In fact, 3 wins, at least 3 wins on the spin at Ellen Road. Oxford on the back of 2 defeats on the spin, losing on Wednesday, and QPR. The odds for this one then, we're looking at Leeds 7-1 on for the victory, 18-1 is your long shots. That's Oxford, and 6-1 is the draw. Opportunity knocks here for Craig Short just to throw his hat in the ring. I don't know if he wants the job permanently, but a chance for him to cause an upset here against Leeds, but I don't think it's going to happen here, guys. Going to go with a 4-1 win, cricket score nearly, for Leeds United on this one. Then we go to the Den, and it is still, as of recording, which is very, very early, on the 17th of December, 2024. Millwall are managerless. Don't know what they're going to do. Neil Harris did have his last game this past weekend against Middlesbrough. They're coming into this without a win in the last 6 matches. 3 defeats on the spin, 13th in the table, 25 points for the campaign. Up against Blackburn, of course, my boys, 6 wins on the bounce. They're 5th in the table, 37 points for the campaign. They played each other 20 times since 2012. 3 wins Millwall, 10 wins Rovers, 7 draws between the two sides. The last time they played at this venue, it was a 2-1 win for Rovers, and we have actually got a good run against them in recent times, unbeaten in at least the last 6, but for a couple of frustrating times at Ewood, just winning the once in the last 3. But we're playing at the Den here. Of course, Millwall on the back of 3 games without a goal, 3 defeats on the spin up against Rovers, who have found it difficult. Well, actually, not difficult. They won 6 on the bounce, but kept 5 clean sheets on the bounce. The odds here, of course, Millwall on the back of that loss to Middlesbrough. Rovers on the back of that win over Luton. 5-4 is your Millwall. They are favoured here. 11-5, I think. Anyway, 11-5 is your Rovers. 9-4 is the draw. This could be a 0-0. This could be absolutely a 0-0. But I'm going to go with Rovers. I'm going to go with just a 1-0 win. On the road. I don't want to curse it, don't want to jinx it. But this is typical Rovers, though. New manager bounce coming in for Millwall. But if we win this, then, I don't know. And then we'll have to have another conversation. But anyway, let's move on quickly because I don't want to really let that sink in. Plymouth up against Middlesbrough over at Home Park. Wayne Rooney's Plymouth. 4 defeats on the spin. This is relegation form. In fact, they are in the relegation zone. 23rd in the table, 17 points for the campaign. They're on 17% form for them. Up against the Borough. Carrick's boys, 58% form, just 1 defeat in the last 4. They are 6th in the table, 34 points for the campaign. Last time I played at this venue, it was a free thriller back in November 2023. The Borough, though, actually, Plymouth did beat Middlesbrough at Middlesbrough back in February 2024. So back-to-back games unbeaten at Plymouth against Middlesbrough. Of course, but the Green Army did lose to Sheffield United convincingly and haven't won in the last 2 home matches. So maybe they've run out of luck at home. The Borough, though, on the back of that 1-0 over Millwall. Their last couple of away games haven't been great either, though. Losing to Leeds and drawing with Burnley. So we'll see about that. The odds here for this one, Plymouth at 5-1 for the victory, 7-2 is the draw, 25-12 is your Borough here. Going with a 2-2 draw, which doesn't really give Borough much, I think Borough will be happier with that than Plymouth will be at this time, because that's another game without a win for Plymouth. A win buys them a bit of time. Meanwhile, QPR against Preston, of course, Cifuentes' boys, been cooking of late, unbeaten in at least the last 6 games. They're 18th for the table, 22 points for the campaign. Up against Preston under Paul Higginbottom, also unbeaten in the last 6 matches. They're on 58% form for them, but they've drawn 5 of the last 6. 34 times these 2 clubs have played since the year 2000. 10 wins for the hosts, 14 wins for the visitors, 10 draws between the 2 sides. Of course, points on the board, though, just 1 point separates the 2 sides. 18th place QPR on 22 points. 16th place Preston on 23 points. Last time I played at this very venue was a 1-0 win for QPR, who did the double over Preston last season. The hosts on the back of that 1-1 draw against Bristol City, but back-to-back home wins. I'm looking at the home form here, at least 3 games without a loss at home. And defensively, QPR pretty solid, just 1 goal conceded in the last 5. Preston have been the draw specialist, but conceded a couple of sloppy goals of late. But the last away match was a win over Cardiff. A lot of draws knocking around for both sides here. 7-5 is your QPR, 50-8 is your Preston, 23-10 is your... This could be another one of those. It could be another draw. It might lean towards a QPR victory because they've been playing really good. Going with the QPR one here. Yep, Cifuentes' team. And this could be a massive, massive blow for Preston and their belief in Paul Heckingbottom, who's been the draw king right now. Speaking of kings, we're going to Stadium of Light. Can Sunderland be kings with Reggie Labrie? That's right, 58% form for them right now, back to a good bit of form of late, sitting 4th for the table, 40 points for the campaign. Up against Norwich under Jonas Turup, they are 12th for the table, 26 points for the campaign. They are winless in the last 3. Played each other 25 times since 1995. 9 wins Sunderland, 11 wins Norwich, 5 draws between the 2 sides. Just 1 defeat though for Sunderland in the last 6. 40 points for the campaign. Last time they played at this venue, it was a 3-1 win for Sunderland back in October 2023. It's been quite even between these 2 sides over the last 6. Sunderland winning 3 of them, Norwich winning 2 of them, and it's been 1-1 draw. The Mackhams, though, on the back of that 3-2 win over Swansea, good result for them. However, Sunderland only winning once of the last 3 at this very venue. The Canaries, though, winless in 3. Last victory was against Luton at home. The last away victory, you're going to have to go a long way. 3-2 win over Derby way back in September. The odds for this one, 2017 on is your Sunderland, 5-2 is the draw, 16-5 is your Norwich. I think I have gone Sunderland on this one. 2-0 win. Yep, Norwich's away form is woeful. Sunderland at home, banker, we would say. West Bromwich Albion against Bristol City. That's, of course, Sunday, December the 22nd. It is the final game before the Boxing Day madness. West Bromwich Albion under Carl Copenhagen, who's been linked with jobs against Southampton and Wolves, but I think Wolves have gone a different way, and that would have been absolutely bonkers if he would have done such a thing. They are 8th right now, the Baggies, 32 points for the campaign, just 1 win in the last 6. Up against Bristol City under Liam Manning, they are 11th for the table, 27 points for the campaign, just 1 win in the last 6 for them. These 2 clubs have played 24 times since 1993, 12 wins, West Brom 6 wins, Bristol City 6 draws between the 2 sides. The last time they played at this very venue was a 2-0 win for West Brom. That was back in March 2024. It's been back-to-back clean sheets for the Baggies against Bristol City. But they're coming into this on the back of that 2-1 loss to Watford. The last home match, in fact, the last home match was a win against Coventry. So bear that in mind. Bristol City, though, on the back of successive draws. The last victory was at home against Plymouth. Their last away victory was a 2-0 win over Norwich back in November. The odds for this one, even Stevens is your West Brom, 14-5 is your Bristol City, and 12-5 is the draw. The Baggies will win this. 1-0, not pretty, not that effective, but just enough to get over the line. So 1-0 win for the Baggies. That'll complete my picks. Don't forget to get yours in as well using the Super Brew link earlier in the show, maybe even down below. But until then, of course, next time you see me, guys, it's the build-up for the madness that is Boxing the Beer. Until then, subscribe, smash the like, catch you later. Until then, we're done.